This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hi, everybody. We had a heap of guests on the show today. Sports people, mostly.
Yeah, it's the end of the week. We've got big games ahead of us. One is the West Coast Fever taking on the Giants, so we caught up with Sunday, Ariane.
One is the West Coast Eagles taking on the Giants. Different Giants, definitely. We caught up with Jeremy McGovern.
The other one, what do you call him again? Mavalenko.
Mavalenko, you beauty.
Yeah, Matthew Pavlich.
Plus, we talk mental health with Jonathan Moran from Nova's Confidential.
And have you been blindsided before? We talk about jobs, we talk about relationships. Anything else?
And also, just a word of warning, Jennifer Aniston does not need you to send her $100 worth of Apple iTunes cards.
Yeah,
just so you know. Just a public service announcement.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean on Nova 937.
It's 6:04. Nathan, Nat and Sean. Ross is here.
Friday's here.
Friday.
Yes.
The mood is good.
Up and about.
You reckon it is good?
Well, it's significantly different to yesterday, I'll put it.
Yeah, and we're about to go on holidays as well. For a
Nat,
couple
you're
of
off
weeks.
today. I just
Yeah, I'm off. I head off to Turkey and Greece tonight. So my flight's at 10:20 tonight. And am I packed? No. Is my house tied in, ready for the house sitter?
No.
Do I have a lot to do between now and 10:20? Yes.
Yes, but guess what else? You have done your hair.
I have done
had a
well,
blow
yeah.
dry.
I didn't do my hair, so somebody did my hair for me. My
ready to
wonderful
go?
hairdresser Dave did it.
Is that always a female thing where you're going, like Megan, my wife?
No, Sean, it's just that I had to go because otherwise the roots would be horrific by the time I got back.
Sure.
How are your roots, Sean?
Mate.
He wears a hat
don't
all the
have
time.
time.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know.
Do you get a spray tan or anything?
Nah, I haven't. Nah.
Mate, rookie mistake.
I know.
Come on, buddy. I thought you're better than that.
But I'm away for several weeks. Like, you don't want to be tanned the first day and then, like, it just be all patchy and gross by day 4.
What about your finger? You look like you've done your nails and that. Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
part of
they're just stick-ons. I've had the pedicure. I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, the summer
important.
feet are ready to
Important.
make an appearance.
There's a lot to prep for when you're
Oh, you have
on
no
holiday.
idea, Ross.
Yeah.
Nails, roots, hair, tan.
Got to get the lawn mowed. And I mean the actual lawn.
Euphemism.
No, that actually
thought
wasn't
so too.
on this account. No.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast. Last quarter.
Spend more time doing you things, like cheering on your home team from the Bankwest Best Seats.
Here we go. Time for a round of last quarter up for grabs. 2 premium Bankwest Best Seats. See the Eagles take on the Giants tonight at Optus Stadium. Premium seating, food and drinks are all included.
I think it's going to be a tight game, Nat.
Hope so.
Okay.
We love a tight game.
Jordan is in success, should I say. George, how do you win the last quarter?
You win the last quarter.
Yes, Jordan. Well said. I mean, you paused there for a second and you scared us.
Little
You
worried.
are bang on. Jordan, you're up against Cassie from Balga in the first quarter. Good morning, Cassie.
Good morning.
Okay, we have to ask you, contractually obliged, how do you win the last quarter?
You win the last quarter.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to ask you a question. If you know the answer, buzz in with your name. You get it right, you're through to the next quarter. Get it wrong, your opponent moves through. Let's test your buzzers. Jordan,
Jordan.
Cassie,
Happy.
they're working, guys. Welcome to the first quarter.
Here we go. Which superhero lives in Gotham City?
Jordan.
Happy.
Jordan.
Batman.
Jordan's through to the second quarter. Hi, Cassie.
Start. First
Jordan,
clearance of the day.
in the second quarter, you are taking on Ben from Bigton. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
Ben, are you currently piloting a 747?
Does sound like that, Ben.
I'm about to get into a plane, but I'm not currently in one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Where are you headed to, Ben?
Down south.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
Well,
way
you
to
got on a
do it.
small plane.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be in a small plane. I'm a flight nurse.
A flight? For RFCS.
That's great. How long will you be going for? I live around Bigton. I can come and ransack your house.
Hey, Ben, how do you win the last quarter?
By winning the last quarter.
Ben, you're absolutely bang on. Ben, we'll also test your buzzer. Ben,
Ben.
it's working. Time for the second quarter. Jordan v. Ben. Here we go. Which AFL team does Christian Petrarca play for?
Jordan.
Ben,
Melbourne.
Yes, Ben.
Melbourne
through
Demons.
the third quarter. It's close,
track.
Jordan. Sorry, mate.
Ben Cook.
Ben, in the third quarter, you're taking on Mick from Wandy. Good morning, Mick.
How are you?
Good, Mick. How do you win the last quarter?
You got to just win it. Kick that winning goal.
Oh.
Mick, that is not the answer we're looking for. Amy, I'm looking at
Amy, are we going to let Mick play? Amy's
you
feeling
got
generous.
lucky.
You're
You got lucky.
All right. It's a rare circumstance. Mick, test your buzzer.
Nick.
Okay.
you. Here we go.
Third quarter question, Sean.
What is the most populous country in the world?
Ben?
America, United States.
Not even
Not even close.
Not
Katy.
even close. Sorry, Ben. India's the answer.
Yep.
China
Yeah,
would be
China
second.
would-
It would
yeah.
be, yeah. Mick, you're through to the third, to the last quarter.
Oh, that's great.
I know. And you don't even know how to win it. Mick, you're up against Alicia from Morley. Good morning, Alicia.
Hi.
Alicia, can you tell Mick how you win the last quarter?
You win the last quarter.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's easy, Mick. Alicia, please test your buzzer. Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia. Oh. I stand corrected. It is the last quarter. It's Mick versus Alicia. Here is your last quarter question. Who sang the 2023 hit Padam Padam?
Alicia.
Alicia for the win.
Kylie Minogue.
Mate, what a great footy question that was. That was right up there.
Mick, you got stiff there.
40 players have got heartbeats too. Alicia,
They
you're
do.
off to the footy tonight. In the fancy seats, 2 premium Bankwest best seats. Said the Eagles take on the Giants tonight. Premium seating, food and drinks, it's all included. Well done, Alicia.
Awesome, thank you.
Alicia, who's your team?
Eagles.
There
Yes,
you go, mate.
all
Go on,
right.
say it, Sean. Say it, Sean.
What?
How's the year been?
Let's not talk about this yet.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, let's talk about last year.
No, Sean.
Maybe the year
Let's
before.
talk about 2018. Let's
about
talk
the year
about the
before
trophy
that?
cabinet, eh?
All right, you
Let's
two.
there's a few cups in there.
Leave it in the past, mate.
Hey,
7 years ago.
Yep. Have you got one?
To separate you two.
1994.
1994 for East Fremantle. Yeah, okay.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Just reeling with the news that love is officially dead.
Oh, we're not going to let this go. We'll
Katy
talk
Perry and
about that
Orlando
soon.
Bloom over,
Yeah.
but it seems like. Do you think they broke up here?
They did.
Because he came over.
He came over.
And that's it.
Dropped the
I
key
will
off.
say, because I see the headlines, but I never click. That it's released by a joint statement from them. So this it looks
It's official. Yeah,
official.
It's no longer just rumours.
Yep.
Because the rumours were flying around for some time, but this is no official.
Yep.
That's why she stayed in Perth longer to go to Rottnest,
See the
cheer
Clockers.
herself up.
The statement says they have been shifting their relationship over the past many months to focus on co-parenting. They will continue to be seen together as a family, as they shared priority is and always will be raising their daughter with love, stability,
Oh,
and
that
mutual
sounds nice.
respect.
Till one of them goes rogue.
Yeah. Do you feel like he dropped her or she dropped him?
It's a great question.
Either way, love's dead, right?
It's dead.
Dead.
It's over.
Yeah, as who said in the studio, if you're basing your love on Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom,
Yes,
Probably.
maybe you need to model your relationships after somebody else.
that's not going great.
But I mean, good luck to them.
Yeah.
So he's single, yeah?
That's right, Dudley.
Where's he? Is he going to the Greek Islands at all?
Yes, exactly. I'm covering all that. Oh, no, that's not nice.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
I mean, as if we weren't blown away by the news, of course, that Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry are
We're reeling.
split.
Yep.
But then we heard that Jonathan Lapali has been given the flick from Survivor Australia.
The lemon and sauce, Ross.
The what?
The arse. Are you serious?
okay.
You've never heard that?
The amount of
I
sayings
knew I'd get you with that one.
you say,
Yeah,
I've
you
never
gotta
get
lemon
that
and sauce.
Yeah.
So he didn't know. Like, it just came out of the blue, and then he got an email, apparently, saying, see you later. And there were whispers around, apparently.
whenever there's whispers around in
Showbiz.
in the showbiz and the
Yeah.
media area, you're gone for
I
all
know.
money. But he had heard that David Jeanette
Yes.
was a chance to take his role
Yeah.
before he
So-
got a phone call.
So that hasn't been officially announced yet.
No.
But that's just the rumour of who is replacement.
that's a lot.
likely to
That's a
be.
lot.
And he's just won nearly $10 million, David Jeanette, in the
He don't
American
need it.
Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
the biggest prize in history. And he won that. Why is he taking,
Jonathan Lapali's job. He
yeah.
doesn't do any other TV, does he, Jonathan Lapali? He doesn't have many jobs.
That's
No.
his thing is Survivor, and he did
And he's
post
done it for like 10
10 years.
I thought he was good at it.
Me too.
He got the phone call to say that ratings had dipped a little bit.
And we're going in a different direction.
Gone in a different direction, completely blindsided.
It does happen in the media. There's often, you hear the stories, the execs are in town or whatever, you have a meeting that Arvo, boom, you're gone.
We can't tell you how nervous Ross is whenever he hears that one of the CEO or one of the execs is in town.
And then I'm like, does anyone need me to host an MC gig? 'Cause I may need a few.
And then they just go, you're all right, mate, for now.
Yeah. And they do, and they're joking, but it hurts when they say that. But this happened, as I said, in the media industry, and it can be, they've served 10, 20, 30 years. But being blindsided like that.
Oh, the biggest one that I've been a part of, and everyone remember it, was Mark Harvey.
Yes.
When he got the ask from Fremantle and Ross Lyon was appointed, it was minutes, right? And I was in a meeting. We're in a meeting doing player reviews for the season.
Yeah.
And you had no idea?
I went to Harvey Norman, and my brother rang me.
Yeah.
And he goes, Mark Harvey's been sacked? And I was like, I've just come from Freo. That's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah.
They would have told me.
Yep. They just pulled him out of the meeting.
You were still playing?
No, I just started as coach.
Yeah, okay, right.
And they pulled him out of a meeting that was taking place.
So he's midway through a meeting.
Left. Yeah. And they just said, come here, and they walked him into the thing, and then they said, your services are no longer needed.
Boom.
Can we have your swipe pass? Because, they always get your swipe pass.
I feel like, can I just, check my emails first? No.
It's cut off.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Intellectual property.
That's wild.
I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, but they don't. They just say that, don't they? They have to say that.
They don't appreciate your time.
You know what's interesting from a job perspective, there's always that person who takes your swipe card.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
The
Yeah.
security person.
Yeah.
And takes your laptop.
Yeah,
it'd be
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought we were friends.
And then they walk you out.
Yeah.
What is this?
I know where the door is.
Yeah.
Can I get a free hat?
Take what you can, can't you?
Yeah, just grabbing
Coffee
at
cups.
stuff on the way.
Nova stickers.
We want to know, have you been blindsided like this? Whether it was a job, it could be a relationship.
Lando Bloom.
Relationship.
Lando Bloom.
Orlando
He flew over here to see Katie's last performance.
Yeah.
RAC.
Yeah, and then dumped her.
Well, she
We
dumped
don't
him.
know. We don't know how it went. They're
Allegedly.
co-parenting. Yes.
I heard she was having an affair with one of the dancers.
Sean, there's no foundation for that. Allegedly.
Where did you hear that?
whisper.
Just a voice in your head. Mel's in Pymelia. Good morning, Mel.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Mel.
Mel, have you been blindsided? What happened?
So about 15 years ago, my mum passed away, and I found out from my grandmother, who was still alive, that I was actually a twin, and I never knew. So apparently the twin had died pretty much late in the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And when my mum had me, I was born just under 5 pounds, so I was really, really light.
Yep.
And my two sisters were 7 pounds, and I always sort of wondered why I was, born so light. And, I found out about 15 years ago that I was actually a twin.
There was two of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Because we hear about, the twin connection and things like that. Did you ever have any sense of, I don't know, a missing piece or anything like that?
Yeah. Sometimes I felt a bit lost, like there was something missing in my life. And, and now I know what it was, because my mother swore my grandma to secrecy, and and everyone else in the family, and I never found out until she passed away.
Jeez.
You'll never know the connection between twins.
I know, that's right. And I guess
if
you've never had it, you don't know if that's what it is that you're feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wow. That's extraordinary. Thanks, Mel. Jordan's in South Yunderup. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, George.
Jordan, have you been blindsided? What happened?
A little bit. So, growing up, I've got two older brothers and an older sister. And when we were getting married, you know how you give your birth certificate to the celebrant?
Yes.
My wife saw that my birth certificate didn't have any, older siblings on there, and sort of previously. And then so I had asked my older brother about it, and he must have said something to my dad, because he then said something to me. And then, it turns out that they have a different dad. But growing up, it was sort of never brought up or anything like that, So
you had no idea that they were really only your half-siblings and not your full siblings?
Yeah, so me and my younger sister, we look alike.
Yeah.
And in hindsight now, you can kind of see it a little bit. But I guess when you're growing up, you're
No.
You never really think about
No.
that sort of thing.
Did they know? Did they know about?
I think he mentioned my brother had mentioned it at the time.
Crucial
and
time to
then,
break up.
yeah, it kind of just got swept under the rug and it's just never been brought up since.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That is amazing.
I mean, it doesn't,
and you're going to get
it doesn't
married.
change anything,
No.
but you just go, hang on, what else have I been lied to about?
Yeah, you do.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
A sad story in the paper today, and a word of warning, I think, for everybody. But there was a guy called Paul who's from Southampton in the UK.
Okay.
And he believed that Jennifer Aniston was in love with him.
Alluring him to a
yes.
relationship.
So it's a deepfake scam. He only...
How deep is this? How deep? Nat?
I mean, the photos look like Jennifer Aniston, I guess.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
you know,
She's great.
AI maybe.
and if you want to believe that Jennifer Aniston is in love with you, and that furthermore, she requires £200 worth of Apple iTunes cards, then it is really believable.
He was sceptical at first, remember that?
He was sceptical
yes.
over this.
Because he's not an idiot.
No.
But he then, she showed him her driver's license, and he went, oh, that's all the information I need.
Here are some of the exact messages from Jennifer Aniston.
Okay,
to him.
tell me, Ross.
Talking about the subscription money she needed. What
She needed, yeah.
Do we know what the subscription was?
Also, Jennifer
OnlyFans.
Aniston
Needs
doesn't need
money for a
subscription money.
What time will you send it to me, my love? Are you there, my love? My subscription is about to expire. Can you send me the $100 Apple card to purchase, my love? And he said, I will later buy. And she said, okay, which time, my love? 8-ish. And then he was 400, pounds? Or
Yeah, £200, so $400.
He thought Jennifer Aniston was making a play for him.
There's a lady in France who got done by Brad Pitt as well. Similar thing, except she's more money. Yeah. A deep fake of Brad Pitt. Okay. Rule of thumb, everybody, listen, write this down if you need to. If they are a Hollywood star who's been in a movie, it's unlikely they're going to contact you on the internet and say, I'm in love with you. It's unlikely.
it is, but like,
It's not 100% impossible, but it's unlikely. And look in the mirror and then look at you and then look at them and ask yourself. Because I know.
Is this happening?
I love Brad Pitt, don't worry. And I would go out with him in a heartbeat. But I know he's not going to ask me.
He's not coming?
I
He's
know
not
he's
knocking on the door
He's not
next
knocking
round?
on the door. He's not hitting me up via DMs on Instagram. He's just not.
Here's another example. This happened to a lady over east not long ago, and she's 77 years old, Olivia. She downloaded a dating app, quickly met a Belgian man claiming to work overseas. They dated for 8 months online.
Online, yes.
They
I didn't meet
dated
in person.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is where the red flags really come up. He encouraged her to invest in Bitcoin.
Oh.
And he showed her documents where it appeared to have made $13,000 in 1 week. So he's like, get involved. And then 2 years in of this online dating, he convinced her to send him $433,000 through
that would have been her life savings.
through different crypto ATMs.
Yeah, no crypto. And if they ask for Apple iTunes vouchers,
Yep.
also red flag. Also, if it's Brad Pitt,
Yep,
red flag.
Red flag it.
If I meet Brad Pitt on my holiday, if you meet them in person,
Yeah, that's
yes,
no problem.
Notting
No
Hill it
problem.
up. Notting Hill it
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it's all, you go for it if you meet them in person. But if it's just online, it's probably a deep fake.
I don't think it's that deep.
It's quite a shallow fake, I would
very
think.
shallow.
So be alert. They're out there trying to get your money.
Yeah.
Don't send it. If you haven't met them in person, don't send them money.
No.
It's also most of the time, if you have met them in person, don't send them money.
Don't send them money.
Good rule of thumb, isn't it?
This is the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
We're joined by, well, we know him as J-Mo, part of the Nova family. He does Confidential on Sunday nights with Tanya Hennessy, but he's also a print journo and now author and male model, of course. We've got that bit. J-Mo has written a book called Mental as Anyone, a toolkit for surviving and thriving on the chaotic rollercoaster of life. And don't we all need it?
Mate, I don't know how you do these breakfast hours. I've been up since 6:30 and I'm exhausted.
Because you're still on Sydney time, right?
I don't know what time.
It throws you out a bit,
I
doesn't
did
it?
wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm touring the country. I'm very happy to be here in Subiaco.
Yes.
I'm just getting to know the locals.
Yeah,
Getting
we
to know
are.
You
the
saw a
locals.
few of them earlier on in town. You saw the Perth locals in town.
I certainly did, and they are colourful. Even more
Yes.
colourful. There's a lot of colour in this book, but more colour than... I was blushing.
Yeah, you get quite the
Couple
characters. in
of
this.
them on the burners early
That's
in the
our-
morning just to kick the day off.
That's our culture, JMO.
I love how you warn me not to swear when I come on the wireless.
Yeah, it's
And then
like
we
he's
talk
not,
about this.
Doesn't do the radio.
I said it to you.
No, Ross, you said it to JMO.
Yeah, but no one says it to Sean, and he's the wild
Yeah, I can tell.
one you need to rein
loose
in.
unit.
He needs
I
some
gotta-
moisturiser. Look at him. He's like straight in there going,
We've had to dump him multiple times for the delay
Hey, did
system
he?
because he swears.
really?
Yeah. Don't do it again. We can only do it once, remember?
What about JMO?
Well, I can dump him.
Let's talk about JMO's book, eh?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Absolutely, JMO.
Can I just start with, so you talk about the Life Toolkit.
Yes.
Can you just, I always need help with anything.
Give him a spanner.
So,
Give us a couple of tools, please. Sorry.
I thought you said I
Mental.
wasn't allowed to swear.
Wait to the ad break at least.
You've got a
Ross.
wedding ring on there, my friend. Roscoe. Listen, for me, it's about being kind to yourself. That all sounds very airy-fairy, mung beans, Byron Bay. But I think we need to just strip it back to basics, right? The phones that we have on us, they are like disaster zones. I have to turn my phone on when I go to bed, at least half an hour before. I have to constantly reaffirm myself because I don't know if you guys feel it, but I feel always that someone's going to catch me out for being a fraud or for being an imposter.
Imposter syndrome's a big deal.
Do you have that?
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
you've been doing this for 100 years.
Yeah, but someday someone's going to find out we're really shit at it.
No,
Language.
We don't know what we're doing.
Told ya.
Yeah, so look, I think I'm not alone. That's the point of the book, is that I'm drawn on a lot of trauma in my life, but I'm not alone. You guys all have your own trauma, right? I'm just willing and able at this point, I might be regretting it soon, to put it all down, and it's all in here.
So you have drawn on your own life as the material
it's
to...
a memoir.
Yes.
And then there's the self-help toolkit. So I've got a doctor, Jodie Lowinger, because I'm not a doctor. I've played doctors and nurses plenty of times. But Dr. Jodie Lowinger does the psych toolkit, and my stuff is my memoir. So
Yes.
it is dealing with, I was sexually abused as a kid. I was in a psych ward for attempting my life over times. I've had deep, dark trauma around life and death, losing some people that I love. So it's about that, and it's to illustrate that no matter how seemingly successful someone is, no matter how much money they might have in the bank, I don't have much at the moment, you can still hit rock bottom.
Yes.
But I've come out the other side.
yeah, that's right.
And I'm
That's the
happy
other
to be
thing. That's
alive.
the
It
other
is a
lesson,
joyful
isn't it?
book.
Yes.
This is not a woe is me sad book.
Yes.
There's a lot of laughs.
But, JMO, to bring this stuff up and put it
Publicly.
in print, because you've got to relive this
It's
stuff
brave.
when you're... Yeah. How was that for you?
I just think the only way I can live
Yeah.
is to be truthful. And I know that there are a lot of voiceless people out there that don't have the ability or the strength right now to do that. And I've been in that position, so I have that now, and I've come out the other side. I'm not going to lie, I feel very vulnerable right now, very exposed and very vulnerable, and even more feeling like I could be caught out for being a fraud or having the imposter syndrome. So, yeah, it is very raw. So we were having dinner last night, and I was thinking, how do I try and help myself and protect myself
Protect
over
yourself,
the next
yeah.
little while, because now all of my deepest, darkest things, like
It's out there.
the most, everyone says they're going to tell all. There's a lot of warts in this book.
Can I ask you all... There's so many questions, but for years and years... We never talked about this on radio, and you never saw it on TV,
weren't
right?
allowed
So
to.
no one allowed to, and there was people who unfortunately were taking their lives, and no one could put it in the media at all because they didn't want to put a focus on that. That's completely been. That was the wrong way to attack something like this.
Well, if we don't tackle it head on, and people are then pushed further into shame, then how are we going to move forward?
Yeah.
And then we started going, okay, let's ask people if they're okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Really great.
Open that conversation.
So we've opened the conversation.
What's
but
next?
then no one knew how to answer that question if they were going through hell, or they didn't know how to
say
receive
if somebody
it.
said it. Yeah, that's right.
So I started going a few years ago, okay, I'm having a pretty ordinary day. And people would look at me like, oh, I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
And so the only way we can do this is we just keep talking about it. We don't want people to copycat. We don't want people to be
No.
alone any further than they already are. So let's make them feel less alone.
Yeah.
We're all mental. I'm reclaiming the word mental.
Yes.
I'm neurospicy. I'm all of the fabulous things because that makes the world go round. I'm not unique. There are a lot of people that have had far more trauma than I have, and let's try and be in it together and be a bit kinder. Straight,
a bit more sensitive to
straight
people.
blokes are not asking each other if they're okay, and then they're not talking about it. 9 people take their life in this country a day. 7 of those are men, 2 of those are women, and every 8 minutes someone tries to take their life. That is past crisis in this country.
Yeah, that's
Way
right.
past. Why is it 7 out of 9 are male?
You tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me.
I had a conversation with a kid, a young man recently, and I've told these guys off air, but he told me that he kind of reached out to friends around them and they weren't kind of hearing what he was saying.
Yeah. And I think that, I'm a gay guy, shock, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I always have. So I've never really had a problem being fun and, that person. But even for me, it's been really difficult because I've masked all of this stuff. It's been really difficult to go, hey, I am flawed and I am, because I've tried to keep my ship sailing. I've had a very successful career. I've traveled the world. I've interviewed every celebrity there is on the planet. And, I manage. But there are times where I have been broken, and there are times where I will be broken in the future, and I cannot get out of bed, literally cannot get out of bed. And, my default is to not like myself, to look in the mirror and think that I'm not a good person.
That you're less than because of that.
Is there something you can look at to remind you that you matter,
that's not true,
that you're
yeah.
loved?
I have to tell myself, I literally have to say, hang on, this is not logical. I know the logic, but then my head tells me other things. I'm terrified about my weight, always have been. I don't like looking in the mirror because I look in the mirror and all I can see is my gobbled chin of a turkey and my gut and all of that stuff. Unfortunately, we're not all blessed with your bodies here. And
Sean agrees.
That was,
It's a gift. It's all he's got.
And it's hard. But Grant, I do a podcast as well called Mental as Anyone, and Grant Denyer went on there and he spoke about the fact that he doesn't look in the mirror. He literally avoids mirrors like the plague. And then I realised that I do too. And so, in the past, we've been very fearful of talking about these things. And I do need to say we do need to put a reference to Lifeline because some of this could be triggering for people out there.
13, 11, 14, call
They
anytime.
do incredible work, by the way.
Amazing.
Incredible. And you don't have to be on the brink of ending it all to call them. They're like, no, just call us if you've got no one else to talk to about stuff. Don't wait till things are dire.
Yeah.
You can call them ahead
Prevention.
of time.
Let's
Yeah,
get in
that's
early
right.
and talk about it. That's why I do stuff with Gotcha for Life. Gus Wallen's written the foreword. Guy Sebastian's written a foreword as well. And we need to get in early and have these conversations so that when people do get to a dire situation that they're able to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. And even you just coming on here and talking about it as freely and openly as you are tells other people that it's okay to do that.
I hope so.
And also that they're not the only one. I think it is a very solitary thing. You feel like you are the only person going through it, that you're hiding it from the world and that nobody else is experiencing what you're experiencing. And we know that objectively to not be true now.
I do, but I also feel a bit self-indulgent, when I'm sharing all this stuff and I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm just talking about myself constantly. But I do have to, I've been getting such lovely messages from people saying, oh my goodness, I related to this and I related to that. And I've loved that I've been getting it from people from all different walks of life, people from straight mates from high school with their kids and saying these are the messages I want my kids to go through. Yes. Everyone thought I was going to do a tell-all celebrity thing about, the first question I'm asked is who's the worst celebrity, who's the best celebrity?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it's such a boring question because most of them are boring and most of them are really shit, as you swore.
Thank you.
That was, you need to dump me. And they're not really, but it's like, who cares? The truth is they're just the same as us. They go to the toilet, they have their same stuff going on. And so I wasn't interested. There is a smattering of celebrities in there because I wanted to have, that is part of my life. And it illustrates that even in the darkest of dark times, I kept myself together miraculously. I don't know how. and put one foot in front of the
And
other.
lots of people are doing the same thing, but going through those private struggles at home.
Yeah.
They hear someone talking about it, they can relate,
Yeah.
they feel better.
Exactly.
Not alone.
Buy the book, everybody. Mental as Anyone by Jonathan Moran and Dr. Jodie Lowinger.
Jonathan
right.
Moran.
J-Mo.
J-Mo.
I've been
J-Mo.
sneaking around town signing books. There's a couple of stores that haven't received their lot yet, so
Yes.
just keep asking.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for it, or buy it online.
Or buy it online
Like
if
a
you
modern
Amazon or the
person, Sean.
Booktopia or any of that. And if you do like it, then go online and tell me you like it on Amazon or one of those. You give us a review. If you don't like it, then keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, absolutely.
But read it and buy it anyway. Yeah, you're going to love it. J-Mo, thanks for coming
J-Mo.
in. We can
Buddy.
listen to you on Sunday nights on the Nova Network as well with Tanya Hennessy. You do a great
Oh,
job.
She's a treat, isn't she? She's a sight for sore eyes.
Just exactly.
Yeah.
J-Mo, what a legend. Thanks, mate.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Feel the fever this Suncorp Super Netball season and join the Green Army. Get your West Coast Fever tickets at Ticketek now.
All right, here we go. It is time for a round of Nad's Day Out. West Coast Fever taking on the Giants this Sunday at RAC Arena. Now, I'm not going to be there because I will be in Turkey. But our producer, Amy Harrington-Carter, will be hosting the courtside box. Pre-game hospitality is included. Courtside drinks are included. Amy's company is included.
She's great. We love Amy.
Yes. We've got 2 box tickets up for grabs right now. We've got 2 contestants on the line, Sean.
Well, Ella and Geraldine are going to fight it out, and let's hope there's some claws here. Ella, good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Awesome. What's your position of choice? Oh, sorry, on the netball court, Ella?
Sure.
Centre.
Yeah.
Centre, lively, Nat.
Lovely, yeah, zippy little mid-quarter. You're up against Geraldine from Madeline. Morning, Geraldine.
Morning.
Morning.
Geraldine, netball in your history?
Oh, I love netball. Netball's in my blood.
What position
Oh,
did
in
you
your
play,
blood.
Geraldine?
Sorry?
What position did you play?
Shooter.
Yeah.
She's a shooter,
McGavin.
yeah.
All right, we got our giant box in the studio. It's a dice. Each number has an allocated question. If the same number comes up, as always, it is the same question. First to 4 is gonna win.
You know what we haven't done is test the buzzers.
Yeah.
It's buzzer testing time. Let's test your buzzers. It'll be a name. Ella,
Hello.
Geraldine, Jerry. Okay, they're working well. We have rolled up a 1.
Here we go. Who is the current Prime Minister of Australia as of 2025?
Hello.
Ella.
Anthony Albanese.
Oh,
No one knows
You guys
politics, do they?
doing? That's amazing. Okay, Ella's on the
No, no.
board. 1-0. Come on, Jerry. We've rolled up a 2. What is the term for a word that is the same forwards and backwards?
Oh, man.
I agree.
No,
we got
okay.
Natalie Locke?
The answer is palindrome.
Give us
Remember
a
that.
word. Give us a word. Which is palindrome.
Madam.
Mum?
Mum. Yes.
3 letters for me. Easy.
Yeah. Okay. We've rolled up a 3. Sean? 3.
I'm still getting over that answer there. Here it is. What is the title of the book series featuring Katniss Everdeen?
Oh, God, I don't read. No idea.
I don't read.
You don't have to say you don't
It was
know.
movies
There's
as well.
movies as well. Was a bow and arrow in it?
Ella.
Ella?
The Hunger Games.
Yes,
play
it
that.
was the Hunger Games. Ella leads 2-0. We've rolled up, we're just going through numerically. We've rolled up a 4. Okay, here we go. Which vitamin is produced when the skin is exposed to sunlight? Jerry?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D is correct.
2-1 to Ella.
Yep, Jerry's on the board. Okay, we've rolled up a 6. All right, here we go. How many netball positions can shoot a goal?
Ella.
Jerry
2.
is correct. It's tied up at 2, or a tight match. We've rolled up a 2.
What is the term for a word that is the same forwards and backwards?
Mum.
Ella.
Ella?
Palindrome.
Palindrome is
Palindrome it is.
correct.
And Mum is an
Mum.
example. Well done.
Mum's an example, but not the answer.
Yeah.
We've rolled up a 4. Which vitamin is produced when the skin is exposed to sunlight?
Ella.
Jerry?
D.
D is correct. It's tied up at 3-all. Next answer, correct answer wins. We have rolled up a 5.
What is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan?
Jerry.
Jerry for the win.
Tinkerbell.
Certainly is, Jerry.
Done it. Takes a shooter to deliver.
Jezelenko.
Jerry, you've won 2 box tickets to watch West Coast Fever versus the Giants this Sunday in my box, although I have palmed off the hosting duties because I will be overseas. But Amy will look after you, Jerry. Well done.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Good on you,
Right,
mate.
and make
Great
sure
game.
you pack out RAC Arena, everybody. Grab your tickets from Ticketek. That will be a ripping game. They're going to break the record, get 11 wins in a row.
Go, girls.
So good.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
You know who my favourite people are?
Who's
the
that?
people who leave everything to the last minute.
Disagree. That is you.
And,
That's you
as somebody
packing
who has not yet packed, even though they're leaving for Istanbul today, I appreciate the fact that Jane from Joondalup left it to the last minute to get in the draw to go to Vegas to see Teddy Swims. Hi, Jane.
Hey, Jade.
Hi.
I know you've got to be
Nice
in it
to
to win
meet
it,
you guys.
Jane, and you are now in it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jane, Ross was just telling us a few things you could do in Vegas, Ross, which was one that stood out to you this morning.
Yep, you can go skydiving and shoot a gun of your choice. It costs you about 2,000 Australian dollars. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's an option. If you win today it is drawn. You can get a call today from Chrissy Swan.
That'd be great.
Well,
I think it would be.
have your phone handy. It could happen,
I
Jane.
will.
Anything is possible. Have you been to Vegas before?
No, I haven't.
4 nights there. Planet
It'll blow your
Hollywood
mind.
you'd be staying officially in. Congratulations. Teddy Swims' album, I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 2 is out now.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're on holidays for a couple of weeks. Don't want to rub it in.
Anyway, we're not
Turkey
bragging,
and
we're not
Greece,
bragging.
here I come. You're off to Bali. Ross, you're off to Bali.
No, yeah, not for 2 weeks. I'm here for the next 2 weeks. So you
Sure.
guys have been banging on about holidays. I'm like everyone else. I'll be working. So
And then you're having time off. So
Yeah.
let's not.
yeah, but
Be
not
a
for 2
martyr.
weeks. I'm not going to celebrate for 2 weeks.
Hello, Sam.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the trenches the whole time.
Yeah.
But very,
Way to bring the mood down, guys.
no, very happily, I'll hold the fort down. You guys
Good man.
go enjoy. You've deserved it.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.